Welcome to The Wrap. I'm Wang. The Washington Redskins season is finally mercifully over. Here to discuss the Redskins' 44-17 loss to the Dallas Cowboys, as well as look back on the season and look ahead to what we can expect next year, is Scott Allen of the DC Sports Blog. And Scott, what can we say? A blowout loss to close the season. A lot went wrong in this game. We start with the takeaways. What do you got for me?
We could probably go to a tape from any number of games this season for takeaways. Again, the defense was atrocious. David Amerson, whether it was covering Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, the secondary was shredded. A lot of talk during the game about how the Cowboys were leaving their starters in for so long.
Right.
And really, the way the Redskins defense played, giving up over 450 total yards, you really thought they could have racked up those same numbers, giving a full rest to DeMarco Murray and Dez Bryant.
Well, we saw that on that last series when Joseph Randle goes 65 yards, the backup tailback. Right. So, I mean, the tackling was just horrible. That was one of the other things that was atrocious. I mean, he two broken tackles there. I mean, there's up and down. You could just a long checklist for Jim Haslett, what he has to take care of if he's back indeed next year. For me, I look at RG3, that's going to be another water cooler conversation. Is he coming back? He's 27 of 41 for 336 yards, which is respectable, one touchdown, but he has those two interceptions. He gets hit. He doesn't see the guy coming, fumbles. It's returned for a touchdown. There's obviously a lot of concern whether he's going to be the guy going forward, whether Jay Gruden has enough trust in him. Has he done enough for you in these last 3 games to think that he has a chance to come back?
I think the jury's still out. Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I think I do want to see him come back. I think he showed some flashes, especially in the Eagles game last week, that he could come back. He, like you said, I mean, there were mistakes there today, holding onto the ball too long. We know about the problems with the offensive line, but I think still the best option for the Redskins is to, have Gruden work with him for that full offseason,
right,
and see what he can do next preseason. At least.
Well, as we normally do after a loss, we'll do the duds first in our studs and duds. And who do you got for me there?
This is like a broken record. I mean, I hate to pick on David Amerson, but I don't think he could have covered you or me today.
No, you're right.
Like I said, I mean, whether he was on Dez Bryant or Terrence Williams, just blown coverages all over the place. And that's kind of been the story all year. I mean, we talked so much about Bashaud Breeland being a stud in that first Cowboys game, shutting down Dez Bryant.
That's
and he
right.
made some nice plays today, but you can't mask when one whole half of your field is covered by David Amerson.
And there's something to me that is incumbent on the defense coordinator, Jim Haslett, not to let Amerson be singled up on Dez Bryant. I don't know how that happens. I mean, he's an okay player, but he's not the guy you want one-on-one with one of the arguably the best wide receiver in football. So I don't put that all on him.
Absolutely.
But still, he's the guy out there you pay to stop him, right?
Right.
Let's go to the offense for the stud, which again seems like a broken record. Yeah. Deshaun Jackson. 2 catches, 86 yards, that great 69-yard, takes a short screen, takes it a long way for a touchdown. But we talked about this. That's kind of emblematic of what's wrong with the Redskins. When Deshaun Jackson is your star week in and week out, that means you're looking for the big play. You're not running the ball to Alfred, giving the ball to Alfred Morris. Look at the Cowboys. That's how they win. DeMarco Murray is going to get most of the touches. And then you go down the field to Dez Bryant when it's there. And don't you agree, that's kind of been a problem with the Skins all year offensively?
Absolutely. I mean, they got away from the run early today. They fell behind, but only 12 carries for Alfred Morris. And this kind of gets to looking ahead to next year, as you talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of conversation on Twitter throughout this game about the players that you would consider untouchable for the Redskins. And it's a huge problem when you don't really need more than one hand, much more than one hand to count those players, and one of them is your punter.
Certainly.
And Tress Way. I mean, but I think Alfred Morris is one of those guys. Deshaun Jackson, as we've talked about, that stud receiver, a guy who can take the top off the defense that you want back. And then beyond that, maybe Jordan Reed, Trent Williams along the offensive line. Otherwise, you need a whole host of new offensive
I agree. And on defense, I'm looking at Ryan Kerrigan. Breeland maybe. I don't know if there's a lot on that side either.
Keenan Robinson also.
Yeah. And then coaches, that's a whole other different story. That would take another 20 minutes for us to discuss. But, Scott, thank you so much for this season, joining us on The Wrap. And I look forward to next year. Maybe they'll get some more wins so we can do it into the playoffs, right? We'll see what happens. Okay.
We'll see. They'll win the offseason.
That's right. No question about that. For Scott Allen, I'm Wang. Thanks for watching The Wrap. We'll see you next season.